Earth must transform herself and equal heaven, or heaven descend into earth's mortal state. If earth cannot transform, forget about earth. Heaven must descend into earth's mortal. So whether a new supramental body will descend like that, or whether a supramental body will be built up gradually here, so that can happen. Possibly, both the things will have to happen simultaneously. Both the things will have to happen simultaneously. So the entire summary of Savitri's dream yoga has come to this point. The new world is already present, created by Ashwapati in the house of the spirit, but latent in the earth, and has simply to be unraveled. Create a new world. Create a new world. What is potent in the earth has to be brought out or created or made manifest, discovered. The issue is settled that either earth must transform or heaven must descend. The issue is settled. It has to happen. It has to happen. The appearance of new humanity led by the mind of night is the process. What Shivandu has done later on. The physical mind opened its supramental light. That is the process by which this will happen. Earth transform into heaven, or heaven descend into mortal state. The physical mind has to open out to the supramental light, for which both things have to happen. Something from below, something from above, constantly. The issue is settled. The command is received by Savitri that man must grow into God. Mold humanity in God's own shape. The appearance of new humanity, the new race, the intermediate race, the appearance of new humanity led by the mind of light is the process. What was written here, all these things. You see, this canto, this book rather, as I said, was written by Shivandu in 1947. It does not mean that he did not know of it earlier. But it took this form in 1947. What was written here in 1947 found its elaboration in the last prose writings of Sri Aurobindo, those 8 essays, the supramental manifestation, which came out in the bulletin from February 1949 to November 1950. Those 8 essays on new humanity, the intermediate race. It is they which kind of elaborate what he has written here, hinted here in 1947. In other words, in the absence of those essays, I don't know whether we would have been able to make any head or tail of it. The mechanism, the process is the mind of light. How it is going to happen? It is that which got concretized. So in that sense, we can say that what we have in the 11th book of Savitri, the everlasting day, is the description of the intermediate race which is going to come, which is going to lead to the life divine. What we have in the 11th book, the everlasting day, it is this will happen, this is how it will happen, is the elaboration of these things in that book. It is the description of the intermediate race. In other words, we can even say that Savitri confines itself to the realized objective of the intermediate race. To talk of the supramental race will be futuristic, and that is why he has not told anything of that in Savitri. How the supramental world be there, this thing, that thing, be quiet, keep silent, be patient, it will happen. At the moment, what is realized, what is done is this, the intermediate race. Earth must transform herself and equal heaven, what the mother has said also. Whatever be the option, earth, heaven, identity, is what we have got here, is a must. Either by transformation through evolution, earth must transform by evolution into this one. Either by transformation through evolution or by descent as an intervention. Possibly both complementing each other. In the mother's case, she had a general perception of her being, and this was in her childhood itself. What she is, she knew in her childhood itself. But the knowledge came afterwards. She had the perception of who she is, but the knowledge that she is that came afterwards. Spiritual tapasya essential for this. Also, other types of preparation, such as occultism. Mother had to go through all that yogic processes. See, in the case of Ashwapati, in the very early beginning, 19.1, a will, a hope immense now seized his heart, aspiring to bring down a greater world. Right in the beginning of his yoga, he is aspiring to bring down a greater world. It is towards that. How that will happen? He saw a hierarchy of lucent planes in the transcendent. Earth shall be marked, earth shall be made a home of heaven's light. That is what he said earlier also. So basically, we have here, earth must transform herself. So basically, at this stage, it is natural why he should keep it or. Because she is going through the stream of consciousness, she has to do yoga. To say this or that or that, it has to be a yogic statement, a yogic realization, and not a speculative statement. Not a speculative. But in any case, he says now, he cautions us, all right, humanity will change into God's shape, or a new world will be discovered, or a new world will be created, earth will transform into heaven, heaven will descend into mortal state. All right. But for anything of that kind to happen, what is absolutely necessary is, but for such a vast spiritual change to be, out of the mystic cavern in man's heart, the heavenly psyche must put off her veil. She is there, the psychic being, the divine soul is there in us. That soul must come out, emerge fully. That is important. Heavenly psyche must put off her veil and step into common nature's crowded room and stand uncovered in that nature's front and rule its thoughts and fill the body and life. So there has to be first the psychic transformation. Thought and body and life, mental, the vital, the physical. And stand uncovered in that nature's front and rule its thoughts. There has to be the psychic transformation of the mind, of the life, of the vital, of the physical. If you are desiring such a thing to happen, then please discover your soul first. This is what is hinted here. And rule its thoughts and fill the body and life. Obedient to a high command, she said. She has that discernment already. Yes, if this has to happen in the stream of consciousness, the first thing which I must do is I must discover my soul. And therefore she is waiting for another adesha, for another command. Obedient to a high command, she said, time, life, and death were passing into the night. So, in the purview of these things, what is time after all? What is death after all? Nothing. Incident, obstructing with their transient view her sight. So it has gone. So their life, time, death have become transient, in fact, for her now. Her sight that must break, her sight that must break through and liberate the God imprisoned in the visionless mortal man. Liberate the God imprisoned in the visionless mortal man. Liberate the God, the psychic being. He says here first, the heavenly psyche must put off her veil. It is that must be liberated.
I wanted to ask you something about the liberation of the psychic being. In the past, many people have had a realization of their soul. Like in Christianity, there are all those saints and so on. They had all the psychic realization, but nothing happened with them.
No, we can't say, but because you see, if it is partial, see, he says here clearly, and rule its thoughts and fill the body and life. Does that happen? Does it rule?
But I don't know.
Exactly.
I know that they have it.
Yeah, that's all right. So it can show glimpses, etc., etc. It can help you to some extent. But ultimately, for a change of that kind to take place, the psychic being has to rule your mental, vital, physical. In other words, the first step towards the intermediate race is the step of psychic transformation. This step of psychic transformation. Then will come spiritual transformation. Then will come supramental. Obedient to a high command, she said, time, life, and death were passing incidents, obstructing with the transient view of her sight that must break through and liberate the God. Liberate the God is talking again of the psychic being, heavenly psychic, imprisoned in the visionless mortal man. The inferior nature born into ignorance still took too large a place, in the case of Savitri. Savitri has at the moment the realization, the siddhi of the dream yoga, swapna yoga. But what about the ignorant nature? Thought, life, body, as I described, they have remained as they are, ignorant. It veiled herself, that ignorant nature, veiled herself and must be pushed aside to find her soul. So, what a beautiful essay, starting from in these 93 sentences, starting from the indeterminate and must be pushed aside to find her soul. Everything pointed, targeted, this afterwards. Like that. The inferior nature born into ignorance took too large a place. So Savitri has to work upon that now. In other words, Savitri has to go into the inner domain of her existence. From Jagrata, the awaking consciousness, she has gone into the dream consciousness. Behind that now is the inner consciousness, inner being, inner mental, inner vital, in her physical, she has to discover them, she has to know them, she has to understand them. When that is done, then possibly she can enter into the region of her soul. She has to discover her soul first, find her soul there. It is there, soul is there, but it has been found. It's a very powerful essay. In fact, this is the most beautiful poetic essay on evolution, starting from the indeterminate all the way up to the possibilities. He's tracing in one sweep the whole thing. You see. There are a number of the places in Savitri where you have the theme of evolution presented in different manners in different places. You have seen earlier, some time ago, the 5 songs of Narad, while he's coming down, how he's seeing this whole history of evolution, ultimately leading to the demons freeing themselves from the dreadful task they had taken upon themselves. So that way, theme of evolution is presented. See now, this is not repetition. What Narad is singing and what we have here, the dream consciousness, they are themes, but they are supplementing each other with other nuances. So Shivendu is not repeating the same thing anywhere at all. You see. He is providing certain other angles also to the whole thing.